most maligned, the most denied, and the most wounded of all the black people of the earth. Why is that condition so prevailing here in the United States? It prevails in the Caribbean islands. I didn't say that was a paradise. Slavery existed there too. It was just as bad. They had whipping bosses there. But what changed the nature of slavery and the attitude there?
Just about set for football.
They became the majority.
Ready to get us started. And we are underway from Hard Rock
They had
Stadium.
a lazy colonizer
And ultimately
let
cannot
them
get
do
this
the
out to the
petty
25-yard line as he's
administrative
stopped
work
at the 23.
and gave
So
them
the
the
Cowboys now ready to go
illusion
on
of
offense for
nation.
the first time.
We didn't even have the
By their
illusion
veteran
of nation
quarterback.
in
He's
the
been
United
around a
States.
while. They don't celebrate birthdays for him. They just
In
count
Columbus,
how many
Georgia,
rings he's
a
got around
white
the
man
middle. He has been in the league a long
drove
time.
the
If you ask
truck,
coaches at any level to design
picked
their
up the
ideal
nice
leader of a team,
sword
I
from
think they're going
the
to check every
privet,
box with this guy.
the
He's got
outhouse.
the poise to handle
All the black
responsibility.
people did
He
this
stays calm
together
under any
to pull
kind
it
of
on,
pressure.
but it
He
did
brings
not
out
do
the best
anything
of his
as
teammates each
mechanical
and every
as
week.
drive the truck. They made a special point in this country, keeping us away from technology.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's taken
In the
down.
Caribbean
Able to
islands,
slip
they
across
drove the
the
small
35.
ship into
Their
the
first
small
play from
ship.
scrimmage is
There
a
was
pickup of
police
13.
councils and
Anytime a team goes on the
schoolmasters,
road, there's
district
always that little
something
bit of
another.
fear that maybe they
So
could
they
be
had the
affected by the
illusion
hometown
of
crowd.
nation.
But this
They
is
had
where game
another
planning really
illusion,
came into
which some
play.
of them still
They talked
have,
about it all week.
the illusion
Go
of
in there
England
and
as the
establish
motherland.
yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
Yeah, just look
And
at
he's across the 40
Now, it was
for
a
the extra
lie.
yards to the
It was
43.
a fake,
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a
but it was
second
not
and
true. But
3.
it was at
And it's
least
a nice
an
game to have
illusion.
first down, picking up some key yardage.
Nobody let us ever be America.
On second down, here's Mixon.
America has not broken any promises to us. They never made any.
Out of the backfield. That's a
They
big
weren't even
loss of
talking
3,
to
and it
us.
brings up third down.
When it said liberty and justice for all,
Defensively because they kept
we
extra
weren't getting the
DBs
all.
on the field despite
And
seeing
when
the
we
multiple
moved to the
tight
place
ends
where
that
the
came
all
into
was
the
being
offense.
given out,
They're going to switch out.
they weren't talking about us. So what you doing here?
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great
Johnny
penetration as
Johnson,
they stuffed
a
that
black
one by the line of
millionaire,
scrimmage.
10 years ago, he was worth $200 million reserved. That means money he paid tax loan and salted away.
Panic in his eyes.
He can no more get a cab at LaGuardia than I can. And all I got is those beat up brownstone houses in Harlem and little pension and Social Security.
Oh boy, he fielded it right
He would probably
on
have
the goal line.
less of a chance to see him push taller
Nice return
than
that time
this
of about
black.
14 yards. And the Dolphins
I'm
try
saying
to
that
start
you
deep
can
in their own
change
territory
your
with a first and
position
10. So out
without
comes this
changing
offense to
your
take over for the first time.
condition.
They'll be led out by a 7th-year pro
We
and
are
a literal
no
rocket
further
scientist.
from
Here's Joshua
slavery
Dobbs.
now than we were.
We're seeing it more and more in this league,
Now,
how
see,
teams love to
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
Only the new slavery,
He's to the 10.
the new slavery is computerized.
Touchdown. Rodanian Tomlinson, 85 yards.
And you have the
Dolphins get the
illusion
upper hand as they're on the board
that you're
first
part
this
of
afternoon.
somebody else's thing
With his speed, if he
because
just
you
finds
cannot
the slightest
understand
pace, he can take it the distance like
how
he did
something
there.
was set in motion.
offensive line.
You cannot understand the nature of education, otherwise you will not expect your enemies to educate your
He's
children.
going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
It's a contradiction in terms. If your enemy educate your children will come to power and take freedom. They won't ask for it, they will take it. If you educate the rude nation, then you will take the nation back. If Nelson Mandela had any kind of education or political sense, the first thing he would ask for is the return of the land. Land is the basis of nation.
They accept the penalty, of course, and push the
All right,
offense
suppose
backwards a bit.
South Africa could vote tomorrow. They eliminated apartheid. Tomorrow, the blacks are still poor. The whites still have 87% of the land.
Yep.
They got the mines and the operators. They control the airports. They control the harbors. They control every wealth-producing resource in the country. So they can vote. So what? So they got freedom of speech. So what? They do not have nationhood. You will not have nationhood until you control your wealth, you control your land.
And he'll get it up across.
Here's what we miss. We always want to cooperate with other people.
Here for the Dallas Cowboys.
We want to share with other people.
Hoping to hit that reset.
We will not stand before the Europeans and say, we will share with you in Africa only to the extent that you wish to share with us in Europe.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And we'll get this to the 24 and it's second down.
If you share no land with us in Europe, we share no land with you in Africa.
They gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart.
Now let's look at
no place for him to go.
this new world order that is not so new. It's an old world order accommodating some new people, but all of the people in the coalition want to rule over us.
I wouldn't be surprised
Because
to see
Africa is the last untapped mineral resource in the world. It is the largest mineral resource in the world. It is the last geographical resource in the world. It is the last underpopulated continent in the world. They want to get away from all that ice. They want to take Africa and repopulate it with Europeans.
31 now on 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver.
And the Arab wants Africa just as much as the Europeans. So there are Arabs who wish to depopulate Africa and take it. There are Africans being killed in the Sudan right now solely because they are not Muslims. There are Africans being driven out of Mauritania who are Muslims, being driven out solely because they are not Arab. There are black Muslims who have not lifted their voice against this one iota. There are black Muslims who are teachers of African history and who come to the part of the invasion of the Western Sudan, inner West Africa from Morocco by the Muslims. They leave that part out. There's a whole literature on this destruction. This invasion facilitated the spread of the slave trade inland and wrote doom for all the independent states in inner West Africa and coastal West Africa. The Arab slave trade had already destroyed the independent states in Eastern Africa. We will not deal with the invader who came to stay. We will rationalize this. It's just evil Arabs and not Islam. Every organized religion that was brought into Africa was the handmaid of a conqueror. Christianity,
and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent.
Islam,
allows you to make a play on it,
and the Hebrew faith.
Knock it away.
We are confused between Jews and the Hebrew faith. The Hebrew faith is an international faith that people belong to all over the world. It's not the private property of some Europeans who call themselves Jews.
Last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
We
need not get into the whole concept of Semitism. How can you be anti-Semitic when you don't even know what a Semitic is?
96 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here.
The people you are dealing with, you think are Jews or some converted Gentiles
quarter, 7-0 ball
from
game.
Europe. They played every role in colonialism and slavery that the rest of the Europeans played. As Europeans, when Germany had colonies, they played a role in German colonies. The British had scholars, they played a role in the British scholars. Along with the slave trade, they played a role in the slave trade. I didn't say that role was larger than other people.
Puts him over the century mark in yardage.
It was a unique role, but they were business people. Slavery was a business. And they went while they could make profit. They didn't apologize for it. And they gave us no reformation. And no apology.
Here's Dobbs.
And all of this is well documented. I don't know what people are arguing about.
It certainly looked like someone was very confident.
Most of the documents came from their records.
I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't
They were part of this old world order.
Pretty well downfield.
Now let's see if we can set it in proper historical focus, because it's so difficult to get to be a good book on the subject as a book goes down there everything.
22-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
All right, now when we invaded the Mediterranean under a young man named Alexander,
but if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards,
it was a period when Africa had been invaded a lot from Western Asia, mistakenly called the Middle East. But past this invasion came from what is now Iran.
Nice gains, that one for 14 yards.
But 550 BC, the Africans cried out, "Oh God, if you cannot send me a liberator,
it's going to be a long afternoon here.
Send me a conqueror who will show some mercy."
He's just shredding them at this point.
When young Alexander showed some mercy, he did not have to fight his way into Africa.
On the defensive side,
he came in allegedly as that conqueror who would show some mercy. And he did.
Just not enough time for the
kind of mercy he showed.
It wasn't a fumble, really.
Is the kind of mercy that has ruined us as a people. He began to lateralize the population of the marriage of priests into Egyptian royal family. Adopt some African customs. Cut some African heads off the statues, put Greek heads on the statues. He did things all conquerors do, is to declare war on your culture and make you think less of yourself. War on your religion.
They'll try and throw for it. And
he began to interfere with the thing that is delicate in every land. He began to use his option, the option of every conqueror, to take your women at will. Now, he did not have color prejudice as we know it today, neither did the Romans. Smug, snobbish, impossible, people with high preference. But after the Romans entered the Mediterranean, they did not want to share as the Greeks wanted to share. They did not want a part of the action. They wanted it all. This is the beginning of European desire to control everything in sight. This was the old world order. It's now re-emerging as a new world order.
Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everyone to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
After a while, almost 300 years, they killed people for being Christians. There were more Africans killed in the amphitheaters of North Africa than in the arena in Rome. Why you know so much about the killing of the Christians in the arena in Rome? Because Caesar B. DeMille told you so. Spectacular movies. They made no movie about the killing of the African Christians in North Africa and in the amphitheaters of North Africa. They made no movie about
The Dolphins getting set
the
to
murder
get back to work here in quarter number
of the
3.
African Christian woman
Charles, for them, pretty good first half
who
on the
created
ground.
the
They had some
concept we
success
now know
running
as
the
the
ball in
Sunday
quarters
school
1 and 2. They
apathy,
got the lead. Now a chance to
killed by
expand
a Roman
upon that
cult,
lead here
Peter
for
the
their first
Reader,
drive of the third
who
quarter.
raped
Yeah,
her,
believe it or not, you and I have
threw
noticed
his
that this great game
bones
of football
through her
has
flesh
shifted
into the
towards
Mediterranean,
pass first, run
through
second.
her bones.
So for me, it's really nice to see some
Now,
of these teams keeping the ground game.
this continued because the Romans thought that being a Christian means that you are weak.
Continue to do damage.
Only a fool would turn the other cheek.
It sets up the pass game really well for them too.
What you do not understand
On play action, it's
is
Downs.
that what you call Christianity existed in Africa in another form 3,000 years before the birth of Christ.
That one covers 29 yards.
Because you will not read books like John Jackson's Christianity before Christ, or the pagan origins of the Christ myth, or pagan Percy Gray's 16 crucified saviors, or James Frazier's The Folklore of the Old Testament. You will not recognize the fact that the Bible is mainly folklore and fable.
Nice burst there.
You accept it as true without examining any of it.
44 yards for him on the ground now.
And if you examine, you find it not only not true, but some of it don't make sense. I question the intelligence of anyone who thinks the Bible is true or supposed to be true.
Running with power here. They'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Yet I read it as a great book, a fine piece of literature, a great book of spiritual lessons, a great book of allegory, illustrating great spiritual lessons. I take it for what it is.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now.
But
you name it, they're able to do it. If you're the
Noah
ball,
plants
whatever you want to select,
grapes one day and drink the wine the next day. Wine don't ferment that fast. Come on.
Mike McDaniel, no hesitation on his end. He's telling his offense to go.
Nobody
for
ever
two.
explained Adam and Eve and their sons. Well, they got the wise women, but they were the only people on earth.
So they went for the two. They don't get it. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it
The
in.
flood was going to destroy the whole world. Didn't destroy. Didn't touch Asia.
Seeing that play.
If you read James Frazier's 3-volume work called Folklore of the Old Testament, one whole volume is
And he
devoted
won't
to
get this to
flood
the
story.
20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Cowboys
All
offense
people
now,
in the
they
world
head
had
out
that
for their
different
first
version of
possession
flood story. You
of
know
the
one
second
version
half.
of it. The one that Jews preserved for you, that's the one you know about. You don't know about this other flood story, this other Noah.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again.
But you don't read that much.
Nightmare afternoon continues.
So when people palm
Officially,
this
it's a
story on
1-yard
you,
loss. That's
you
gonna
thought
bring
it was
up
a new
second and
story.
11.
This defense is just flat.
John Jackson said that if Christ had risen 2,000 years before, he could have read his own autobiography.
Now Aikman.
Because they picked him up and placed him inside of already existing story.
In the game and the situation they're in, partner.
When St. Augustine heard about the conference in Nicaea, he said, these people
This offense in desperate
are
need
giving
of
us a religion
conversions.
we had 3,000 years ago. They make me
Aikman
laugh.
throw.
Now what has this got to do with the New World Order?
And incomplete.
It has to do because the imprisonment of your mind around concepts that you have not properly examined has made you a pawn in somebody else's game. Because you have not examined the game.
We'll call that a punt of 54
And the
yards.
game
Well
was
struck.
to control
And it'll
you.
be Dolphin football.
It is a successful
Miami
game
set to
because
take
you have not
over.
examined the
Now
players.
you've got the
Just
clock
missed the
winding down
game.
here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your
Now,
approach on this drive?
Too early to
One
fully
day,
commit to playing the clock
a
game.
Roman emperor looked
Yet,
down
at the
in
same
the
time, you're also not going
amphitheater,
pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense.
looked down in the arena.
This is called 4-minute football.
He was enjoying himself seeing the Christians being killed and saw his uncle down there. He said, well, he's a fool anyway, let him be.
That's good for
Next
21
Saturday,
yards and
he
a
looked
first
down
down.
and he saw his wife and his
Lightning in a
son
bottle, forget it.
to
He
stop the
exploded
show.
out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
What's in this new religion? So the Romans began to investigate, find that the Romans stopped killing Christians and became Christians.
1st and 10.
And here's an item you need to pay attention to, because no matter what the European believes and what he joins, he intends to control. This is why you fail in the world. You fail to control your community. You fail to control people. Sometimes you fail to control your family.
But how about a little credit to the defense, forcing that
This is where it all began. The control of the community, the control of the family. No people rises from lower to high position without exercising some form of discipline.
That's right. So
he says, mind your own business. Quite forget, in a collective society that produced us, you are our own business. Everybody is our own business.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Constantine, a degenerate, but we'll talk about this later, made Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire.
So we will switch ends
as the conference of Nicaea, 325 A.D., they began to Christianize this religion.
A lot of happy faces in the
and
crowd
this religion became the handmaid of their conquest of other people, just like Islam became the handmaid of Arab conquest and domination of other people, and it still is. And the black Muslims don't know this and taking time out to study the faith.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
All right, now.
Dobbs now on 2nd down.
After the Romans took over Christianity, they declared war on the African Christians for the control of the church, because no matter where the European is in the world, he intends to control. And once you understand that, you understand what I say, the new world order is the continuation of the old world order. Now, the Romans had disgraced themselves in the ruling of Christianity to a point where Camel Boy began to grumble. He asked for reform, failing to get reform. He asked for a new religion. The new religion was Islam. The Africans thought that this new religion would get the Romans off of their back. They were right. The new religion got the Romans off of their back, but the new religion replaced the Romans on their back, and that new religion is still on their back. I'm talking about Islam.
And they'll cut the lead to 21-7.
Every religion that came into Africa from the outside came to oppress the Africans. Islam, no exception.
Drive that time. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here.
I wish you understood me on this point. It is to the everlasting credit of African people. We gave the world no religion. We gave the world something higher than religion. We gave the world spirituality out of which came religion.
80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. Because maybe that number is much more of an anecdotal.
We gave the world humanity, human feeling. We gave the world a system
empirical.
So they'll come up first
that a political opportunist and a Johnny-come-lately called Karl Marx would later call socialism. We had this system thousands of years before. We did not dogmatize it, formalize it, we just lived it out.
Nearly 30 yards, 29
we lived in collective society, where the wealth was distributed according to the needs. The king was the guardian of the wealth, but not the owner of the wealth.
Keep throwing the football. That's fine. Just make sure your offensive line
understands. And everybody got according to his needs.
Running at the quarterback.
You thought there was something when it came from Europe. You said Karl Marx said it's something new. And African Pharaoh preached this from a throne 1,300 years before the birth of Christ, named Akhenaten, called the heretic Pharaoh. nothing especially new in those river valleys of Africa. We have to understand that Africa created its own world order. And that world order was built around the family, the community, the state, as the collective property of all the people. Our great tragedy in the world is that we have been taken out of the state. We have been deprived of the concept of the state as we originally developed the state. The state is the container for a people's aspiration, for a people's hope, people's desire, and people's defense. Now what happened to the Japanese being defeated, 2 atomic bombs thrown on them? How could they recover? Why didn't we recover? The Japanese were never taken out of their state physically. They never let the enemy change their educational system. They never let the enemy change the thing that was taken away from us. The image of God as we conceive God to be.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. So they go with
none of us
on the 2-point
today
try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the
speak
offense
of God
their 2-point
in a language of our own
It's interesting how
creation.
people are using the strategy nowadays.
We
though,
dare
It
to
really is. I don't
imagine
know how
God
much
as looking
that
like
one,
any
that
one of
particular play
us.
factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16,
Today
that
in
kind of
Japan,
changed it.
the
It's
Buddha
really a part
looks
of everyone's
Japanese.
strategy now. When I talk with coaches,
In Indonesia, he looks
they always talk
Indonesian.
about they actually have 2
In China, he
periods
looks
in practice
Chinese.
now, something they never really
No
did before.
contradiction.
This taking in
God
at the
must
goal line.
reflect
And he will be brought down here inside
the
the 20.
worshiper.
Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And probably not much that they can do
And
at this
what
point,
do
CD.
you
Down
worship
2
as
scores
God?
late in the fourth quarter.
Michelangelo's picture
overcome, you would think.
painted 1,500 years after Christ was born.
I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than
How
the
could
other.
Michelangelo know how Christ looked?
Didn't quite reach blowout
He did
status.
1,500 years. Michelangelo pitch commissioned by the Pope.
Meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's
Michelangelo
knocked
gives
away
him
and
beer.
incomplete.
As a corner,
How
you
do you
have to
know?
be able to
Blue eye.
run with guys step
Blind.
for step downfield of man coverage.
Michelangelo played the Last Supper.
You have to put yourself in position to
He
make
wants
plays.
he needs some models now. He got to help 13 people now.
That's complete.
He don't want to pay much money.
Down way up close to the 40 at the 39.
So he goes to a local jail to get some people that are not doing anything.
On 1st and 10, it's Aikman. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab.
None of this.
And he'll be out of
That's a bunch of jail boys. He said, here's the Last Supper.
That is a gain of 6. Make it second down.
Bunch of Italian jailbirds. Italian jailbirds.
Incomplete. Well, just
And you
seems
looking
like
through
all
their
year
eyes,
there hasn't been a lot
begging
of
you
sync
looking at a whole
quarterback to
different.
wide receiver on this side of the football.
Well, you could be right.
Quarterback and receivers. Heck, they've been
You
on the
don't
same
think?
grease board when you draw plays up.
Hey, who's painting the picture?
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Every time you see
And
a
the
lion,
Dolphins are going to take possession as they
man
got it at the
chasing
42-yard
the
line.
lion.
All smiles and high fives on that defensive side.
But man painted the picture.
What was truly a tremendous
When the
performance.
lion paints
If
the
you can hold
picture,
a team to 7 points in the
The-
NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really
the lion
good
will
about.
be
Now, I do
chasing
know
the
a
man.
few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play,
at what
could have
time
had
are we
a
going to
Dolphins
suspend
ready to
all
take
of this
over on
falling for
offense.
other people's
And
nonsense?
checking the
and
timeouts,
look
they
at
do have
who
2
did it.
defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock
Every
after
act
that.
accordingly.
And that's just a solid, good
So
physical
the Japanese would not let them take away their guard, would not let them take them physically out of the nation of that place,
now you're
that
2nd
development.
and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL,
I have
even
no
if you picked up
romance
the
with the
first down,
Japanese.
don't
I think
it's a
some
big
of them
difference 'cause the
are
clock
yellow
is
racists.
Yeah, not like
But
college.
that's not my
It's college
point.
football. You want to
But
maybe
when
2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down.
that
College
American
football,
kicked
clock
open the door and
stops
told
with
them
every
trade
first
with the
down.
West, whether
It
you
actually
like it or
aids the
not.
defense in that situation.
They took humble.
Here's
Again,
Dobbs to throw.
trade with the West,
He's gonna
send
float
that children
this
to
over
all
the middle
Western
deep.
schools,
And
learn that
unable to
technology,
connect. incomplete.
By 1905, they learned so much technology, they kicked Russia's butt in the Sino-Japanese War.
Be able to pin him back deep here with
The
his
people
first
began to show them some
The Dolphins
respect.
going to take their second time
They
out.
came to America and studied
just
in
one remaining
MIT.
in this fourth
Nobody
quarter
would
play.
date a little Japanese. They were lonely. Every see them on Sunday, all alone, taking that little picture. They take a train, go home and build a train.
For a touchback. From a star in college
Take a
to a star in
skyscraper,
the
go home and build a
NFL,
skyscraper.
CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver as he brings out this
See that textbook
offense.
home?
And I know that they've
People at home
double-teamed him
study.
a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing
Most
is
of the
working.
Japanese
He's up over
feel all
100 yards.
the
We'll
train
see how
at
they
the
adjust.
Virginia Military Institute where they wouldn't even let a black man sweep the floor.
How many times have we done games where we've seen a guy
They
have a good
insulted
game
them,
like
almost
this,
spit on
but it's
them.
usually not.
They were told, get the technology, bring it home. If they spit their body waste in your face, apologize for your face being in their way.
Cowboys have got it back
And if
to
they
a
bumped into
two-score
you, they
game
step back
here in the
home and say,
fourth.
society.
They'll
They
have
dropped
Nixon
their
trying to
thank
run
you
it
note
in.
at
That
Pearl
is gonna
Harbor.
be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the one. He just couldn't
No
keep
demonstration,
churning those extra few
no
inches.
leaflets,
And the two-point attempt
no
is
fists in
turned
the
aside.
air, no ML. Just went home and did what they had to do. You can't keep quiet long enough to bring off a nation.
So time definitely not in their favor.
We
Down
need
2 scores,
less
but they'll try the
ceremony
onside kick.
and more substance.
Cowboys recovered it. Yes, Cowboy football. Well, that certainly makes things more
No.
interesting. You get the score, then you get the
Islam,
onside kick. A little uphill
The
battle
African
still, but a
military
start.
might
It's not mission accomplished,
push
but the plan
the Romans
is
out of
working.
North
They're in a
Africa.
great spot right now, and the best
The Africans and the Arabs controlled Spain and the Mediterranean for almost 1,000 years.
Momentum here now.
After the Crusades, the famines, and the plagues, Europe began to reassert itself. During the so-called Dark Age, the Europeans fed on Europeans with a very poor diet.
Ball caught. Hits the playmaker.
Finally,
Yeah, he'll be out
they
just
learned
about
maritime
2
skills,
30.
mostly from China, the leading maritime nation of that day. This skill preserved by the Africans and the Arabs at the University of Salamanca in Spain. Europe began to get its courage back again.
They're going to come away victorious.
They began to learn latitude and longitude again.
So that'll do it for
Began
us.
to
For my partner,
master
Charles
ships
Davis, and all
again.
the hard-working men and women on our crew.
Began to
I'm
go
Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL
to Asia,
right here
looking
on
for
EA
swigs and
Sports.
spices, something
The
to put on
Dolphins
that
are
gut
winners
stuff,
here as we
offer
say
European
so long
food so
from
they
South
could eat it.
Florida.
Wasn't looking for Africa at first. Discovered Africa on its way, looking for Asia. Then finally, they came to Africa not looking for slaves, looking for an African emperor named Prester John that they thought he was a Christian, hoping he would help them against the Arabs. Finally, an African faker took advantage of these gullible Europeans and wrote a letter to Europe saying, I am the Prester John you've been looking for. I've got so many wives, so many cameras, so much. The letter was a fake. But Europe got it. These don't lie. At last, somebody gonna help us. They really was turning to Africa for help. They came as guests and stayed as conquerors. Africa's never been protected, not protected now. The people who control that front door let the conquerors in the north. The Africans let them in that western front door, thinking they were friends. The Arabs burst into the eastern door. The Boers, sometimes the French, came into the door from the south. The Africans in the south, seeing these Boers with no land, gave them land, plenty of it, enough of it.